What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Alright, so today's goal, actually I did a bunch of pictures last night, is to turn old clothing that from my family here in my house. They were going to donate most of it, so I went through all the piles that they put in garbage bags, took out the good stuff to list on eBay to share with others, and the cheaper stuff is donated to our local Goodwill, and the stuff that was damaged basically just ended up throwing that stuff away. So here's a classic example. I'm kind of doing this for the first time, so I'm not really familiar with listing clothing at all, but the goal is ultimately to turn something like this into collectible silver coins, which is really the something I actually enjoy. So basically the job is to get stuff like this listed, get some sales, get some money coming into it. Again, this is stuff I bought many years ago when my kids were a little bit younger. Now they're all adults, and this is the stuff that they don't want. So I'm going to show you basically what I'm doing to take photos, and what I'm asking is to reach out to the reseller community, basically folks that do this professionally for a living, like the ones that like go to Goodwill bins and source at flea markets or go to garage sales. Like, is this how you're supposed to do it? So this is what I think the first photo would look like. So I've seen a lot of photos for jackets. So you kind of put the arms like this, and then if I'm at the store, I'm looking at the tag. So I think the next photo would be the tag. I would take pictures of the actual logo. So this is an Adidas original. These are probably like $100 jackets or more. I would take a picture of this. I would then zoom out, probably take a picture of the hood just to kind of see the lining itself, see if there's any damage. I would hold the sleeve like this, take a picture like that. Then the bottom, maybe the care tag. I would probably do a close-up of the zipper, the buttons, make sure they work, make sure the pockets don't have holes in them. If they do, I'm not even going to list them, because like I'm not into selling something to someone that needs to be repaired. And then I noticed people take a tape measure, but they have like those really big metal tape measures. I don't have one. I just have a nice normal tape measure. What is this? I don't know, easy read. Anyways, so then this would be another photo showing the armpit to armpit, and another photo from top of the jacket to the bottom of it. And then I would flip the jacket, and obviously it'd be a nicer picture like that, but then take a zoomed out picture like that. Obviously the whole jacket and stuff would be in frame. And then I got a lot of these, I want to say they're Mylar, or they're called like poly mailer bags. Man, I bought these like over 15 years ago when I helped my brother and I were clearing out the basement, just all our old toys, clothes, whatever, anything vintage from our childhood. Sold that on eBay like over 15 years ago, and he actually ended up buying a car with the money that he made from it, even though it was all in my account. So I got a lot of these bags. These are probably expensive nowadays, but back then they were dirt cheap. So I noticed other resellers put them in clear bags, and then they put it in a poly bag or poly mailer, whereas I'm like, these are really thick and they're waterproof. So I guess I'm reaching out to communities like, is it cool to ship a jacket or item of clothing with these bags? They're poly mailer bag, because that's how I seem to receive clothing from major retailers like an Amazon or Banana Republic or wherever heck else, the wife's ordering clothes from. And then I'm actually not doing just like a generic weight. Let me put this in the bag and show you how my scale and how I weigh it, and then I'm actually charging the actual weight. So I don't know if that's the way to do it, or if you're supposed to just jack up the shipping charges or guess. I would rather be completely accurate. So stand by, let me put this in the bag. Okay, so we placed the jacket in the bag, and if I were to just guess, I would say this is easily 2 pounds, even though it's a puffer jacket. It's supposed to be light. So here's the scale I have. I don't use the postal scale because that thing only goes up to a certain amount of weight. This thing goes up to like 50, 60 pounds. So it looks like we're 1 pound, 10 ounces, and that's what I'll be using to my weight. Now let me show you my actual listing on eBay. I'm going to show you what I price it out for. And again, any professional clothing resellers out there, please let me know in the comments if this is how you're supposed to do it. Do I have the jacket priced out right? I do use promoted listings, but I don't run sales and stuff unless it's like stuff I've had forever. So like I'll run sales on like Hot Wheels and comics that have been sitting for over a year. But let's go to my computer and I'll show you the listing itself on eBay. And then here's just a bin of the stuff that I've already taken photos of. So it's like a number of jeans, jackets, some of my daughter's sorority stuff. There's some Nike stuff. There's some Lululemon leggings. There's some Shein stuff too, which I don't even know if I'm going to list. I guess that's like a major worldwide brand, but that's like the clothes that my daughters would just find online and click it, and then it would show up. They would try it on, wear it a couple times, and then it's kind of junky stuff. So I don't know. I might donate the Shein stuff even after I took photos of it. But most of the stuff is like from Urban, PacSun, Nike. Obviously, that's a good seller. Lululemon obviously is a good seller. Then there's like off-brand leggings by Zelly, and there's American Eagle jeans. I have no idea if those are even worth listing because they probably weren't that expensive to begin with. And again, I watch enough online YouTubers, and they tell you like what brands and stuff to look for. Again, this is just stuff that's completely free, so it's like, is it even worth listing American Eagle jeans? Versus just donating it. I don't know. So this is kind of like an experimental thing. I will never go out actively looking for this stuff. I will never go to bins, garage sales, buy clothes to resell. That is not what I'm doing here. I'm literally taking stuff that I bought many years ago and, again, turning it into silver numismatic coins to resell in my store. This is something I'm good at. This is kind of like just extra work, but I figured I'd do it as a experiment to see if I'm doing it right, and if I can turn stuff I already have around the house. I've already washed all this stuff too, to see if you can turn that into real money like they supposedly do on YouTube. I personally think a lot of those channels are for entertainment. I don't believe you can go to flea markets, buy a crappy pair of shoes, clean them up, and then resell them for a profit. To me, there's no way you could do that for a living full time. And if you look at some of those channels, I'm not going to name names, but you look at the number of clicks, they're making crazy money on YouTube, like over 10 grand a month just on their clicks. They're not making it from buying stuff like this. At least the way they show it. Now, if you professionally did this, you have employees, there are certain channels that do this, and they do massive amounts of volume. Those are more realistic, but the other ones, they're literally just entertainment. So again, I don't want to offend any resellers that do clothing for a living or as a side gig, but let's be honest, guys, there's no way, unless you're doing, 1,000 in sales a day, you're not gonna make it. There's no way. There's just, it's too much. And this took up a lot. Like, I have these bins and stuff already, but this would take up a lot of capital. Buying the bins, having the space to store all this stuff. It's pretty crazy. Versus I do coins, and I could have 10,000 coins fit easily in one bin. Where if I had 10,000 things of clothes, I'd fill up an entire 2-car garage or more with just clothes. It would be annoying. So, all right, let me get to the listing. I've ranted enough. All right, so here's my listing. I basically saw that another seller was selling the same exact jacket. So it's really nice when someone already has it listed, because then you can kind of like double check your work. Now, this is a UK seller. So on eBay, if you click on this and sell similar, it'll bring you to a UK page and you have to create a United Kingdom account. No, thank you. So unfortunately, I'm the only, or maybe fortunately, I'm the only US seller that actually has this jacket. I don't remember it being this old, but I could have bought this when they were like in 8th grade. So this might already be 10 years old, and it's just been sitting, not being used, which is fine. It is in really nice condition. Like I said, it is Adidas Originals, which is more of a collector's piece. So, but I didn't put vintage or anything. So here's my photos. Here's the first photo. And then I immediately zoomed in on the logo. There was like a patch, the zipper, the tag, the top of the hoodie, the arms, the bottom, the buttons, showing where. There's obviously on that one. Then you're supposed to measure armpit to armpit, top to bottom, and then the back. And then I have it listed at $30. Now, the way I look at this is like if I were shopping for a nice vintage Adidas Originals coat, or let's say just a regular coat, would I pay $30 plus $7 in shipping for one of my kids? Probably, because a puffer jacket, Adidas Originals, even if you go to the Adidas store, you get the coupons, you go to, you do all that stuff at the, not the retail Adidas store, but like a resell one, not a resell one, what am I trying to say, an outlet where it's like older inventory. First of all, you're not really going to find something like this that's this cool. Usually the stuff that's there is like weird colors and whatever. It's like, it'll be brand new retail, but if you find something similar to this, they'll probably have it like originally 120. They'll mark it down to maybe 70 or 60, and then you're paying tax and all that other stuff. So, and then if you bought this directly from Adidas, it'd probably be a lot more expensive as well. And they usually don't have like this nicer stuff. So I don't know, guys, like at $30, I probably would buy this for my kids if they were looking for something. I'd be like, well, that's a good deal. Let me grab it. But if I had it like at 50 or 60, then I'd be scratching my head saying, you know what, I'd probably just go buy brand new in retail at the Adidas store. So, and then I don't know if as my kids got older, there was a time when that one song was out and they were going to resale shops and buying stuff. I'm like, why are you buying someone else's used clothing when you have literally closets full of used clothing that you don't wear anymore? But that was just, something that the girls did when they were teenagers. Sometimes they do it even now and it's annoying, but I guess it's cool to find like older, nice stuff that is no longer being made. So anyways, getting back to the price, I think this is a good price. I think $20 would be too cheap. I mean, it's March 17th, 2023, like nothing's cheap anymore. So I think for $30, this is something that someone would like. And I did put the actual, so here's my description. I filled it out as much as possible. I haven't put like where it's made and stuff, the size, and then I just put like a little story in there, like, hey, I didn't buy this from, a garage sale or whatever. It's, basically, I probably did like too much here, but that's just me. Like, I like to describe, if people like to read the description, I just want to let people know, like, hey, this is a personal item that I bought for my kids back in the day. And this is not like, I'm not going to garage sales, flea markets, buying stuff, cleaning it up secondhand. Like it's not what I'm doing. So I wanted to, I guess, tell people that as well. Probably too much of a story, but that's just me. So anyways, guys, I want to get, again, your honest opinion. Is this something like, am I doing this right? Is this priced out correctly? Again, I'm doing this for the first time. As far as clothing, obviously I sell stuff on eBay all the time, but then I've got, I put the shipping in, the actual weight, and this is what it spit out. So I did, UPS ground or use post office ground priority. I did a medium flat rate box. And then if someone wants like it immediately overnight, I did all FedEx overnight as well. So where I live, I'm super close to the post office, which is also linked to the main distribution post office the next town over. So when I ship stuff out, like it goes out really quick, and it's literally like less than 5 minutes from my house. There's a FedEx store, same distance from my house as the post office, and then there's a UPS store next to our grocery store. if anyone ever needs to send something out UPS. So I get stuff out like really, really fast. So again, I appreciate you guys watching. I would like your honest opinion if you do this for a living, or if you're just like, you watch my videos and you're like, wow, I never thought of selling clothes or jacket or something. I mean, it's America, guys, or even internationally, everyone's got stuff in their house, especially guys that follow my channel. You guys can afford to buy nice coins. You obviously have nice stuff like this laying around the house. And again, I'm all for like donating to charity, but there comes a time too where it's like some of this stuff is too nice to donate to charity. I think it would get trashed. And don't get me wrong, like there's literally 5 bags of clothing that are going to charity. So by me picking out the nice stuff, or actually doing this and going through my house and clearing it out, it's definitely helping out charity. But, I want to also help myself out and my family out and make a little bit extra money to reinvest back into my coin business, which is doing really, really well. So hopefully you guys understand that, because some of you guys are like, why don't you just donate this and be a good guy? It's like, I already did that. There's already bags. So this is like the nice stuff where I think it's like too nice to donate, but everyone's like different, right? Everyone has a different attitude when it comes to stuff like that. So anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. This is a little different video than I normally do. It's not in my light box doing coins, but I've got literally, so this whole bin's full. This bin here is filled with like, t-shirts like Star Wars and stuff. And then there's like some weird like anime stuff that my one daughter got from one of the anime artists that I looked up. Some of that stuff's like worth $100. Again, I would never donate that because that would just get tossed in a bin. Someone would pick it up for $1 or it'd get thrown away. So anything that's nice is going to basically be listed. So again, I'm going to list all this stuff. I already took photos of it. So now what I'm doing is I'm grabbing it. I'm going through each one, putting it on listing. Obviously, I showed the jacket as an example because that was my first listing. So before I really dive into this, I want to make sure I'm doing it right, because I don't want to do it wrong 100 times and then go back and fix 100 listings. No, thank you. So again, appreciate you guys watching. Again, any professional resellers or people that do this for a living, please let me know if I'm doing it right. And I do follow like Daily Refinement and all those other channels, but I'm kind of leaning on you guys that do this for a living, and am I doing a good job? And then those that don't do this for a living, does it make sense? And is it something that you would buy in real life? So appreciate you guys watching. Talk to you in the next one.